Yo, my people, and welcome to Fundamentals TV. Normally, we don't bring you an episode like this, but given that's everything, given everything that's going on in the football world right now, we thought it was important that we bring you the news, bring you the facts. Today, I'm joined by. Who wants to go first?
Yes, your favorite guy on the pod, just Simba.
Ace, yeah, sorry, you know.
All right. So today, of course, as many of you might know, we're going to be talking about everything that's going on with the so-called Super League and everything that's going on. There's a lot to digest, and there's a lot that's still evolving with it. But so far, what day is it today? It's the 20th. So the Chelsea-Brighton game has just finished, and the biggest news right now that we've all got is, in fact, before we get into the news, how do you lot feel about the Super League?
Well, Sam, you
want to go first? Cool. I'm completely against it, innit? I feel like this is just capitalism at its finest. This ain't really there's no, they're taking away the passion for the game. They're really doing what America's doing with the NBA and the NFL and everything. Just making it like a commercial kind of thing for sport and everything. It's just a way of making more money. You can tell these owners don't really care about the actual football and the competition that's involved in it and everything. I feel like if they do go forward with the Super League, then a lot of people will fall out of love with the game and everything in it. So I just feel like it's just bad news.
Yeah, just echoing what Sam said. It's just corruption, it's greed. It's a slap it's like a slap in the face to people like us. We came from ends growing up playing football grassroots. Doing stuff like this. Bro, I can't comprehend it.
Yeah, I feel like
football's meant to be football's meant to be a middle class, working class sport, and then for the guys at the top to come and try to take over and do their own thing, it's a mazza, bro. Can't lie.
The whole no relegation thing, really, that's the main problem with it as well.
That's my problem.
It makes it seem bro, they're untouchable. You can't even try and get to that level. You can't compete with them and everything. They're in their own bracket, which I just hate.
Takes away the beauty of the sport.
Yeah, 100%. I feel that my issue with it as well is that when you look at, as Sam said, there's no relegation. So it's what are you fighting for apart from money? You're just fighting for whoever's going to earn the most amount of money. Which is what's the point in football if the only goal of yours is to just get money? At the end of it, everything is a business, and I feel like fans understand that. But you got to understand football fans as well. There's a passion for it, especially in English. I'm not disputing any other football, but we've seen it today. The amount of protests there was outside the Stamford Bridge and all over the country. Fans.
Apparently, they hold the players hostage.
Bro, they didn't let them in for half an hour.
I love people, man.
And then you see that Petr Cech had to come out, and he was negotiating with the fans. Look, it's getting sorted. Just let them play.
Hey, imagine they rattled Petr Cech.
That's funny, man. That is funny.
But I feel like a lot of us on this pod, even the guys who aren't on right now, feel the same way. Especially the damage it will do to the football league. You're not just looking at the Premier League, but the biggest impact it will do is to the football league and the guys fighting to play in the conference or the League One, etc., etc. They don't realize that these big six, some of the big six are not even big teams, leaving will be a big, huge thing. But I feel like they're all just doing it for financial benefits. But one thing to say, to excuse a couple clubs, is that apparently the main driving forces behind this, from what we know, we don't know all the facts yet, was Real Madrid, of course, United, and Liverpool. Apparently they were the main three driving forces behind it. And apparently, this is all rumours, but it's not facts, just putting it out there for everyone, is that City and Chelsea were pressured into it on the last couple of days. And it was more of a thing where they told them, jump on the train or we're going to take off without you. We're going to make X amount of profits, etc. And as an owner, go on.
Yeah, for me, that's what's disgusting, because the three clubs you just mentioned, Liverpool, Man United, and Real Madrid, they're meant to be the clubs that bring football, the history of football. And for them to be the driving force of what's going on, bro, that's nasty to me, bro.
You know what it is, I feel like if this does go through, it's gonna be like an NBA and G League kind of situation. You're gonna have the Super League there, and then the rest of the football league is gonna be treated like the G League. bro, do any of us watch the G League? Do we even know any players in the G League? Like,
No,
no, obviously I rate the G League and that, but like, fam, that's gonna happen to the football league soon if that does go forward with it.
And I feel like a
it's
big
gonna,
thing about this is that it's gonna misplace everyone's homes, like as a club. Like it's like everyone knows Chelsea, Stamford Bridge is their home. Liverpool, their home is Anfield. Like the cop is such a big thing about Liverpool. I don't know what the stand is called at United, but you've got the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, and you got all these different like about passionate, loyal fans. Like you got the Matthew Harden stand. That you got. There's so many different like parts of clubs that bring them together, and it's like I feel like this Super League is just gonna. Like half of Liverpool's home games are going to be in Qatar and Singapore and America and fucking South Africa just to make. If it's for money, they'll do anything for money. Like we've seen like other sports, like boxing events, be held in like Abu Dhabi and like fucking concerts being held in like Dubai. And it's not nations you hold closely to these sort of sports. But I feel like my biggest issue with everything that's going on isn't the Super League. It's not the Premier League. But it's the fact that all these players and all these managers and all these committees and authorities can come out and talk about the Super League when it comes to their profits and their pockets and talking about the fundamentals of football. But a thing that's bigger than football is race. And these lot, as soon as it comes to race, is a thing like, you can't do this and that because it's going to affect. They were saying they're going to ban people from playing in the Euros and the World Cup, but they couldn't ban someone. The racist guy against Glenn Kamara, they gave him a 10-game ban. Ban him from.
They even gave Glenn Kamara a 3-match ban.
Yeah, it's like it's a natural reaction. If someone calls you something, it's a natural reaction to do that. But
bro, it just comes down to money's the root of all evil, bro. When it's about to hurt a man's pocket. Bro, you see how they're active. They came out straight away. Banning man from World Cup? Deep here, bro. Yeah. They're banning from World Cup. But when it comes to race and that, they give a man 10-game bans.
But when you look at it, like you have to just look at the owners of like FIFA and UEFA and everything. Like that image there is just the pinnacle of like they're not really for us, innit? They're like what? Old white men. They don't understand our struggles. They don't really see our like side of race and everything. So like they obviously just have their own like self-interest like in everything and just.
But even like today they were saying there was a meeting called amongst the 20 captains in the Premier League and there was a 14-team meeting apart from the 6 teams in the Super League that was called, and it's like Boris Johnson got involved and we saw messages from Prince William and we saw it on the late night James Corden show.
See, like, everyone's active, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like everyone is getting involved to talk about this.
Doing the most. Even Boris Johnson came out and said, "Jay, I'm gonna stop this."
Yeah, but it's like when England was abused against, I forgot what team, I think it might have been Ukraine. Like if it's the wrong country, I apologize. But they're saying that the players should not walk off and they should this and that.
Yeah,
and it's like
play it out. Stay on the pitch, play to the whistle. Right.
But as soon as that Super League thinking, Gary Neville did not shut up. JB Carragher did not shut up. All these people talking, every player, De Bruyne, Henderson, Luke Shaw, all putting out statements saying, football, this, that, etc., etc. And I don't disagree with them. They're 100% correct in it. I'm not taking out of context anything they're saying. But it's like when you look at a bigger picture, there's things at hand which are like football is huge and it's big and it's important in a lot of people's lives. But if you can't attack things that are inside of football, like racism, it just puts a stain on everything that you do. And another thing that I want to address is that they're saying that these clubs are doing it all for money, and it's true. None of them said they weren't. But it's like Sky Sports and the Premier League are the same people who try to charge people £15 a game on pay-per-view for a match like Burnley versus Brighton, which don't make sense to anyone. When some games in hand you can watch for like £25. I've gone to Villa games which have cost £25. You're trying to charge me £15 for a Burnley versus Brighton game. Get the fuck out of here. They're saying they care about the fans, they care about the fans. They need to reduce their prices. Like they just need.
That's the thing. Like all Sky and BT Sports and everything, they're trying to make it seem as cool. We're with all the fans. Like we're protesting against the Super League because we're on the side of the fans. But really, if you look at it, it's really for their own personal game. You got to remember, like Champions League used to be on ITV for free and everything, and everyone used to love it and everything.
I was literally telling my brother that like the reason why we grew up loving Barca and Real Madrid and all these teams, we used to watch them every week.
We had free access to it. But now what? you have to have a Sky account or a BT Sports account, and that's about what, £10 a month, maybe even more.
maybe even
And
more, yeah.
well, not everyone has the access to it, especially if you're coming from working class backgrounds and everything. You don't really have that spare £10 a month to spend on it and everything.
Yeah, I remember like
So,
on Sundays there used to be like the Bundesliga goal show, and they used to show like
yeah,
all the Bundesliga highlights and stuff like that. Match of the day still going on, to be fair, but match of the day was such a big thing back in the day. Like everyone at 10:30, everyone was sitting down to watch
that was the thing still.
to
Don't
watch match
disturb
of
me
the
at
day.
10:30.
Literally, like we used to watch like in my eldest brother's generation, 10 years older than me. Like Serie A games used to come on. I think it was Channel 4, like every week. And it's like when you feel like Florentino Perez said something about there's a disconnect between younger people and the game. It's like you've got to address different issues. It's not putting all the big teams in one league and trying to monopolize football. It's about accessibility to football. Like everyone can play football, but not everyone can watch football. That's why there's so many footballers nowadays. They like playing football, but if you ask them who's your favorite like player or how often do you watch football, they don't really like. A lot of people don't actually do it.
A lot of them don't support a team.
Yeah, literally.
Mm.
It's
Bro, I
crazy.
think, bro, the problem starts from the top, bro. Like these owners or whoever is at the top now, bro, they know nothing about football. These guys like Kroenke, the guy who left today, Edward, this fucking Edward Good guy, bro. Bro, this is years in the making, bro, for Man United, bro. I'm so
Are you
happy
happy
this guy.
about it?
Of course, bro. Bro, the glory days can come back, bro. We've been waiting for this Edward guy to go, bro. Yeah, but the main point is these guys at the top, bro. They know nothing about football.
Yeah,
So,
they don't.
but
They're just
from our perspective, yeah, like it's a money scheme, bro. That's all it is.
So what? Quick question though, how do you not feel about the Jose sacking?
If it was for the alleged reasons they're saying it was because he stood out against it, I have nothing but respect for him. But another thing, Tottenham since January have got like the 4th least points in the league, so he was doing bad in the league as well. You don't sack a manager the week of your cup final, which is what makes it.
That's what makes no sense.
Yeah, that's my thing. You don't like no matter who the man, no matter if they lose the final, then you just sack them after the final anyway.
Literally.
But to be fair, if they go and win this Sunday, I don't think anyone will care.
No,
true. Ryan Mason in charge of that game as well. Only 29 years old as well.
It's a big game for
give it to him.
But another thing I wanted to ask is that so we've seen some of the fallout from this. Of course, United, Edward Wood resigning. There's rumours that the Glazers are going to sell the club. There's rumours that Kroenke might sell Arsenal. That there's a lot of stuff coming out of this, and a couple of big things is that Florentino Perez is saying that he might still continue on with the Super League, etc., etc. So, like, where would you like to see, like, especially the English teams that we want to focus on? Where would you like to see them, like, in their futures? Like, do you want to see the Glazers sell United? Like, where do you want to see everything go?
Bro, we just need someone to come in who are United. I don't know who's running like the scheme to bring in players or like who's controlling what, but right now it just seems like the owners at the top are just controlling everything, and then like the people who know football are not controlling nothing. We need to. Like, I think the other day Man United announced that Darren Fletcher was going to be like a head sign at Man United. Like that's a right step in the direction for where Man United want to go, because he knows the philosophy of the club. Those are moves that the type of moves that Man United needs to make to get back where we need to be.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Sam? Where do you want to see of course, we're both Chelsea fans. Where do you want to see of course, Chelsea, they've allegedly said that they're stepping out. Like, there's nothing confirmed. The only team that's been confirmed is Man City right now. So where do you want to see Chelsea move from this? Because I feel like the biggest thing that was going to piss me off was that we're still fighting for the Champions League. We're still fighting for the FA Cup. Like, this can throw players off. Like, I watched the Brighton game today. Some of the players just didn't look like they were in it, the game at all.
Literally, this whole ESL thing is just one of the biggest distractions in football right now and everything. Like, literally, even me today, I was thinking, is the game even going to go on? Because there's so much hearsay going on and everything. Like, you don't know where football is going to even stand come next season and everything. No one knows what's going to happen. Everything's really up in the air. It's like them times when COVID first came and no one knew what was going to happen with football.
Yeah.
Like, everything was just everywhere. But like, I feel like I respect Abramovich as a owner. I feel like he's done a lot by Chelsea and everything. I feel like he will make the right decision and step down, like follow City's lead and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see the Premier League resume how it is and everything. I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Obviously, there can be improvements made, but that is just not the right direction to go. I don't see any benefits from it. So I feel like as it is, yeah.
My big take from this is that UEFA, the Premier League and FIFA, they just need to act better, because the whole reason why this shit was formed is because some of like the way they've been acting over the last couple of years has just been a bit shit. The whole Qatar situation with them using like slaves and shit to build the World Cup is horrible. The whole VAR shit, I feel like VAR is a good concept with shit execution. They need to figure that out. They need to figure out how they're going to distribute money to smaller teams as well. The fact that the Premier League blocked Newcastle from being taken over because the Big Six didn't want it is another thing that they need to address. Like there's a lot that the Premier League itself needs to address, and FIFA and UEFA as well, they need to address as well. Because as soon as it came to their profits is when they wanted to start talking about issues, and racism is a big issue in football that they need to address as well. But they don't want to deal with all of this. But as soon as it comes to their money in their pockets, they're saying they're for the fans. They need to show that they're actually for the fans. That's
football right now, it's just becoming too much like a business. Like there's no real passion and everything in that. I hate it. And I feel like eventually it's gonna get even worse. So I feel like we just have to enjoy it for what it is right now.
We do. But just on the final note, that we are bringing you this like emergency episode, but we just wanted to gloss over it real quick. If there's anything that does develop, you might catch another episode from us in like a couple of days or so. But yeah, majority of us here, I'd say all of us here, we're just against the whole idea and the concept of a European Super League, whatever the fuck it's called.
Wait, sorry, quick question. Well, do you see any benefits of the Super League?
I do, yeah, a lot.
Which are?
I feel like if they did something different, if they formatted it different and it wasn't just the big teams, I feel like people would be more accepting. I was speaking to my brother earlier, and if they did like the top 8 ranked teams in Europe, top 8 ranked leagues in Europe, all their winners went into like a tournament, and then they did like the tournament of the winners, you know what I'm trying to say? So last season, it would be like Liverpool and Real Madrid and PSG and Bayern all put into like a tournament. And then if they did by like win percentage, whoever's the top seed and the bottom seed, like the NBA, and when they did like a way to the final, and then they crowned like a winner of the winners, I wouldn't mind that so much in it, because
that does make sense. Yeah,
because then teams could still see financial benefits for winning the league, not just from your own domestic governing body, whatever the hell it is, like the Premier League, etc. But then if you win that, there's another incentive that you get more money, etc. And it's like it adds more to a club as well, because it's like we've held this trophy of being like the best of the best in Europe. But my only thing about stuff like that is that it diminishes the Champions League.
Yeah, it does.
I know for
me, the Champions League seemed like a stepping stone.
Yeah.
For me, like other than economically, bro, I don't really see the benefits. Obviously, this year with like COVID and stuff, I think that's one of the driving forces of why like they're even doing this European Super Cup in it. Like the pandemic has really hit these teams in it, so that's why they're taking action to try and create this league in it. But other than that, like it just ruins the essence of the game, man. Like literally, like it doesn't give a chance for the lower teams to have that dream. Like we didn't even mention this. We see this with like West Ham this season. What they're doing, they have the chance to go into the Champions. What it thrives for teams like that, man. So for me, like, bro, other than economically, I don't see the game, bro.
I agree with that to a certain extent. My only thing would be like it's kind of like the owners are taking charge, because it's like I was watching a podcast, I forgot what it's called, but the one with like True Geordie on it, etc., etc. And then one of the guys in the podcast said he was in a meeting one time with like the head of sports in like the UK, and they were kind of just laughing at like, who's going to compete with us? Who is going to force us to act on this and that? And then the one thing that this did do, it just highlighted the fact that you do need to compete for your position, or else owners are going to take action, innit? And like the owners, like United owners and etc., they've been complaining for years. And Florentino Perez, everyone knows what sort of crook he is, but it does shine a fact on the fact that like these bodies, they need to do something to make football not only better for the owners, but better for the fans as well. I don't want to be paying £80 just to watch my team play. It doesn't make sense for someone like me. Like a ticket to go see Bayern in the Bundesliga will cost you like what, €30, which is, I don't know, it's like 20 something pound. Whereas if you want to watch the top team in the Premier League, which doesn't even have Arsenal have the most expensive tickets, I'm pretty sure, you got to pay like 80 to 100 and something pound, which doesn't make sense. They need to make football more accessible. That's the thing.
They're so shit. It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense, bro. But yeah, just to sign out, this is a developing issue. Like what we said now in a week could not matter at all. It could matter a lot. Like you never know. But we just wanted to bring you a quick episode. If you have any thoughts or anything, leave it in the comments below. If you ever want to join us on one of these Zoom calls as well, then let us know. We'll start doing more of these as well. And if you like this idea of doing like impromptu episodes, then let us know as well. Be sure to follow Fundamentals TV on all social media platforms, on Twitter and on Insta to keep up to date news. Follow eWalks on Twitch.tv, FIFA, COD, whatever you're into, and anything else.
So that's it, bro. Just hope this Super Cup thing don't go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.